So till today we have learnt about valence bond theory. But this valence bond theory could not explain the formation of coordinate bond. What is a coordinate bond? It is a bond formed by complete transfer of electrons. For example, I have a lone pair of electron coming from one atom. When there is complete transfer of these electrons to another atom, then it is called as coordinate bond. So there is transfer of lone pair of electrons to the neighboring atom. Neighboring atom will not give any of its electrons. Such a bond is called as coordinate bond. So VBT could not explain the formation of coordinate bond. It did not explain the paramagnetic behavior of oxygen. So what do you mean by paramagnetic? So you know that an atom has a paired or unpaired electron. A molecule will have paired or unpaired electron. If it is paired, then that particular molecule will not be attracted by magnetic field. Then they are said to be diamagnetic. So the molecules which have an unpaired electron or a single electron are attracted by magnetic field and they are said to be paramagnetic in nature. So what are paramagnetic compounds or molecules? They are the one which have lone pair of an odd electron or a single electron or unpaired electron. They are said to be paramagnetic. So opposite of this is diamagnetic, wherein the electrons are paired and they are not attracted by magnetic field. Paramagnetic attracted by what? Attracted by magnetic field, whereas diamagnetic not attracted by magnetic field. So VBT could not explain the formation of coordinate bond. It did not explain the paramagnetic behavior of oxygen atom, and it did not explain the bonding in electron deficient compounds. There are many electron deficient compounds. They form bonds, but it could not be explained by what? VBT. So it did not explain the formation of odd electron molecules or ions like H2 plus, O2 minus, etc. As a result, molecular orbital theory was put forward. MOT stands for molecular orbital theory. Now we know that atoms combine to form molecules. Similarly, atomic orbitals combine to form molecular orbitals. I'll repeat, atoms combine to form molecules. It means what? Atomic orbitals combine to form molecular orbitals. So what is a molecular orbital? A molecular orbital is a region in space like our atomic orbital. It is a region in space in which probability of finding the electron is maximum. In molecular orbital theory, we are going to consider or imagine that atomic orbital behaves like a wave. So atomic orbital in molecular orbital theory is considered as a wave, and it is represented by the symbol psi, which is shown here. Okay, so here we are going to consider atomic orbital as what? As a wave. Okay, so if it is behaving like a wave, then you are going to represent it like this. What is this? This is atomic orbital of an atom A, which is represented by a function psi. So this is atomic orbital of atom A, this is atomic orbital of atom B. So these two atoms, when they combine, they form a molecule, right? So look at the nature of the wave here. Both are similar. Wave A and wave B are same. So when these atoms combine together, there is addition of the wave, addition of the atomic orbitals, and therefore you get a higher amplitude atomic or molecular orbital, which is represented as this. So here what is happening? The two atomic orbitals are overlapping in such a way that you get a molecular orbital having a higher amplitude. Okay, so this is called as positive overlapping or additive overlapping. Now look at these two waves. Okay, these two atomic orbitals. Atomic orbitals are considered as a wave here. So wave orbital A, orbital B, but see the nature of the wave here. this is in this shape, and this is exactly opposite of this. So when they add together, there is no addition, but there is destructive overlapping of the wave, and you get a wave like this, a molecular orbital having this kind of shape, because there is subtractive addition of the waves. Okay, so this is called as subtractive overlapping or destructive interference, and the other one should be called as addition overlapping. So you know that these two atomic orbitals, or any two atomic orbitals, they can combine in two ways. Yes, additive overlapping, wherein the magnitude is more of the molecular orbital. Yes, and in case of subtractive addition, what will happen? The amplitude of the wave will be very less. What does it mean? Here, probability of finding the electron is very less, and in case of additive overlapping, probability of finding the electron is very high. So electrons will be found in this area only. In a small area, you will find large number of electrons. So with this idea, we shall look into the postulates of molecular orbital theory. What are the postulates of molecular orbital theory? So molecular orbitals are formed by the combination of atomic orbitals. What does it mean? They are formed by combining of atomic orbitals. Which atomic orbitals? Having same energy or comparable energy and proper symmetry. Symmetry should be same. S should overlap with S. Z, P should overlap with P, Z only. X will not overlap with Y orbital. Understood? So molecular orbitals are formed by combination of atomic orbitals of comparable energies and proper symmetry. An electron in an atom is under the influence of one nucleus, right? An atom has how many nucleus? Only one. So an electron in an atom is under the influence of one nucleus, whereas electron in a molecule is under the influence of two or more nuclei. Why more nuclei? This you can understand, because molecule is formed by combination of two or more atoms, right? So molecular orbital will have two or more electrons, two or more nuclei. Why more nuclei? Because a molecule can have more than two atoms, like H2SO4. H2SO4 has how many atoms in it? H2 hydrogen, 1 sulfur and 4 oxygen atoms. 4, 5, 6, 7. Understood? So, molecular orbitals of H2SO4 will have many nuclei. Yes? So, it's because the molecule is made up of more than one atom. Hence, atomic orbitals are monocentric, whereas molecular orbitals are polycentric. So, I shall read it once again. An electron in an atom is under the influence of one nucleus, whereas the electron in a molecule is under the influence of two or more nuclei. Two or more nuclei are controlling the electrons. Hence, we say atomic orbitals are monocentric. Only one center is there in the atomic orbital. What is that center? Nucleus. Whereas molecular orbitals are polycentric. So what does rule number 1 say? Postulate: molecular orbitals are formed by combination of atomic orbitals of having same energy or comparable energy and proper symmetry. And rule number 2, postulate number 2. Postulate number 2 says an electron in an atom is under the influence of one nucleus, whereas electron in a molecule is under the influence of two or more nuclei. Okay? Therefore, atomic orbitals are monocentric, whereas molecular orbitals are polycentric. Now coming to the third postulate, the molecules of molecular orbitals formed is equal to the number of molecular orbitals formed is equal to number of combining atomic orbitals. What does it mean? If two atomic orbitals are combining, two molecular orbitals are formed. If 5 are combining, 5 molecular orbitals are formed. Coming to the next postulate, if two atomic orbitals combine, two molecular orbitals, namely bonding molecular orbital and anti-bonding molecular orbitals are formed. Okay, bonding molecular orbital is represented by BMO and anti-bonding is represented by ABMO. So I shall read it once again. When atomic orbitals combine, two types of molecular orbitals are formed called as BMO and ABMO. You already know what are they. So you'll come to know now. So what is BMO? BMO is formed by additive overlapping of atomic orbitals. I have already shown you earlier. And ABMO, anti-bonding molecular orbital, is formed by subtractive overlapping of atomic orbitals. Okay. Now, bonding molecular orbital has lower energy and hence is more stable. What does it mean? ABMO, anti-bonding molecular orbital, has higher energy and hence less stable. The molecular orbitals. Now you know how to fill the atomic orbitals. It is based on which rule? Aufbau's principle and Pauli's exclusive principle and Hund's rule. Similarly, molecular orbitals are also filled in accordance to Aufbau's principle, Pauli's exclusion principle and Hund's rule. Types of molecular orbitals. Like we have studied sigma and pi bonds under valence bond theory, molecular orbitals, when they combine, they are also designated as sigma bond and pi bond. Sigma bond can be formed by either additive overlapping or subtractive overlapping. Additive overlapping is called as PMO and subtractive overlapping is called as ABMO. So here also you have two kinds of bonds, sigma and pi. Sigma is formed by either BMO or ABMO. So BMO sigma bond is represented by sigma like this, and antibonding molecular orbital sigma is represented by sigma bond with a star over it. Similarly, pi bond is also formed by either additive overlapping of the atomic orbitals or subtractive. So pi is represented by this sign, BMO also by this sign, and ABMO, just to differentiate we write stars. Now energy level diagrams for molecular orbitals. Now till yesterday you know how to write energy level diagram or electronic configuration of atoms. Now you have to write electronic configuration for molecules like lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen as follows. Okay, so the energy level sequence up to oxygen, okay, will be like this, which is shown here. First 1s sigma bond is formed, then 1s sigma star, that is antibonding molecular orbital, is formed. So you can just remember this sequence. I will help you to understand it better. So which are the elements? Up till 10 we will write. So which are the elements? It is hydrogen, helium, BCNOF, followed by neon. So for all these elements we are going to write electronic configuration for the molecules. Hydrogen, helium, then we have lithium, beryllium and boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon. Okay, so either you can remember this, I will show you how to write. Now how to write 1s orbital. Okay, so 1s orbital for one atom I have here. So this 1s orbital for one atom, and this is 1s orbital of another atom. Which orbital? Atomic orbitals. They combine to form what? Molecular orbitals. How many type of molecular orbitals? Bonding molecular orbital, anti-bonding molecular orbital. Whose energy is less? Bonding molecular orbital. Therefore it is shown below, and for that of anti-bonding is shown above. When 1s combines with 1s, they are orbitals having same kind of energy, therefore they combine. You will get, there is formation of sigma bond. So sigma 1s I have written. Since this is anti-bonding, I have written sigma star 1s. After 1s, which orbital will be filled? 2s. Look here. Above this you are going to show 2s. 2s. Understood? So 2s orbital of one atom, of the same atom, combines with 2s orbital of another atom. They form molecular orbitals. Which are the molecular orbitals? BMO, ABMO. So 2s molecular orbital and 2s antibonding molecular orbital. So after 2s, which orbital is filled? 2p orbital. How many p orbitals are there? There are 3p orbitals. Look here. Can you check? So I have 2p orbital of one atom. 2p orbital which is subdivided into x, y and z. So this combines with 2p orbital of another atom. 2p having x, y and z. Okay. Now up till oxygen, 2pz is filled first and then 2px and 2py. Why? Because its energy is less. When 2pz overlaps with 2pz, a sigma bond is formed. Therefore, I have written sigma bond here. So this holds good only up till oxygen. After oxygen, this will become reversed. That's the difference. Okay. Then, why I have written 2px and 2py together? Because their energies are same. Which orbitals are these? These are molecular orbitals. Which molecular orbitals? Bonding molecular orbitals. Hope you are understanding. 2pz of this atom will combine with 2pz of another atom to form sigma 2pz antibonding molecular orbital, which is shown by a star here. Then you have antibonding 2px and 2py molecular orbitals written together because they have same kind of energy, and the story continues. The same energy sequence as I have shown in diagrammatic form is given here. First 1s orbital is filled, 1s sigma bond is formed, then 1s sigma antibonding is formed, then 2s sigma bonding is formed, then yes 2s sigma antibonding is formed. Then which orbitals are formed? 2p x, y and z. First 2px and 2py are formed. They are written together, therefore equal sign because they have same kind of energy, and 2p, then 2pz. Once these bonding molecular orbitals are formed, if electrons are remaining, then the electrons will go to 2px and 2py having same kind of energy, therefore equal sign, antibonding. Then if at all electrons are remaining, then they will go to 2pz. This kind of filling up of electrons holds good up till oxygen. After oxygen, what will happen? You can just compare and see here. In up till oxygen, first 2pxy and z is 2pxy and 2px and 2py are filled, whereas after oxygen, which one is filled first? 2pz is filled, followed by these two orbitals. That is the only difference. So you will understand it better when I start filling the electron diagrams, energy level diagrams starting from hydrogen. Thank you.